She didn't flinch. Not when he slid his hand across her lower back. Not when he leaned in like I wasn't even standing 10 feet away. And definitely not when he looked straight at me, right at me, while whispering something in her ear that made her laugh. It wasn't a normal laugh, either. It was the one she does when she's nervous but enjoying the attention. The one I hadn't heard in months. Not around me, anyway. I don't even know how long I stood there. Just frozen, holding a plastic plate of stuffed mushrooms I didn't want. My mouth was dry. My brain kept replaying it. His hand, her smirk, my silence. I must have looked like one of those idiots in slow motion. A background extra in my own marriage. Someone behind me asked, "Are you in line for the shrimp or?" I stepped aside. I couldn't answer. I couldn't breathe. This wasn't just some party. This was her work event. Her world. And clearly, he was the star of it. When she spotted me again, she tilted her head like I was the one being awkward. Like I was the weirdo for not joining the little flirt circle. I raised my eyebrows, like, what was that? And she just shrugged. Shrugged. Like I was asking about parking, not the man who just had both hands around her waist like she came gift-wrapped. And then he did it. That thing I'll never forget. He raised his drink toward me. Not a full toast, just a lazy little motion, like cheers, pal. Like he'd already won. Like he knew something I didn't. And maybe he did. Because when I finally got her alone near the bathroom hallway, I asked, "Who is he to you, Ray?" She paused for half a second too long. That's all it took. Then she smiled. "Don't be weird. He's just a coworker." I should have walked away right then. But instead, I nodded like a fool. Like someone who wanted to believe the lie. After the party, things didn't go back to normal. She acted like they did. She folded laundry. She played her true crime podcasts. She even made that dumb frozen lasagna I hate. But she knows I'll eat anyway. But something was off. You ever feel like someone's talking to you while their mind is somewhere else entirely? Like they're maintaining just enough eye contact to keep up the act? That's what it felt like every night after that stupid work event. I didn't bring up Jareth again, not at first. I didn't want to seem insecure. God forbid I act like I care too much, right? But it festered. The way he touched her. The way she didn't pull away. The way she laughed like a teenager sneaking out of her bedroom window. So I did something I've never done before. I went through her phone. I know what people say about that. If you go looking for something, you'll find it. Well, guess what? I didn't go looking. It practically leapt out at me. She had a whole separate text thread under his initials, JT. Like she thought abbreviating would throw me off. Messages like, "Ugh, I swear he doesn't even notice when I change my hair anymore. You're the only one who makes work bearable. Can't stop thinking about the patio conversation." Fire. Patio conversation? What the hell happened on the patio? I scrolled up. Weeks of messages. Flirty, subtle, but clear. No nudes. No confessions of love. Just enough innuendo to poison the well. I didn't confront her that night. I should have. But I just closed the thread and set the phone down. I wanted to believe I was wrong. That I misread it. But the next day, she left for work early. Earlier than usual. No goodbye kiss. No, have a good one. And that night, she came back smelling like hotel soap. I asked her, point blank, "Were you with him?" She blinked. Just once. Then gave me this cold little laugh and said, "Wow, jealousy? Really?" That laugh broke something in me. I wasn't jealous. I was right. But I stayed quiet. Because I wanted her to keep thinking I was weak. I wanted her to keep underestimating me. She didn't know it yet. But I had already made a plan. 3 days after she called me jealous, I stopped waiting for the truth and started hunting for it. I didn't even feel like a husband anymore. I felt like an unpaid private investigator in my own marriage. I started noticing patterns. The way she left the house with her makeup half done but returned fully polished. The subtle perfume that only showed up on Wednesdays. The fake smile she wore when I asked if she wanted to watch something together. I remembered something from those texts, the patio conversation. That night at the party, after she danced too close to Jareth, she disappeared for 20 minutes. I figured she was in the restroom. But now I was sure it wasn't the restroom. So I called the venue. I lied. Told them I'd lost my wallet. Asked if anyone had turned it in. The manager was nice and said no, but she mentioned they had security cameras covering the exits and outdoor areas. Bingo. I asked if I could come check, just in case someone swiped it from the patio. She hesitated, then said sure, but only the general manager could authorize playback. So I waited 3 days for him to return from some conference in Phoenix. I almost backed out twice. But when I finally sat down in that tiny office that smelled like coffee and old carpet, and he hit play, I swear I stopped breathing. There she was, my wife, Rihanna, stepping outside onto the patio at 9:42 p.m. And 30 seconds later, Jareth followed. The footage had no sound, but it didn't need it. They talked close. Too close. He leaned in. She leaned back for a second, then smiled. He touched her face. She didn't stop him. She kissed him first. I watched it happen on a 12-inch monitor with a stranger sitting 3 feet away from me. She put her hands around his neck like she was afraid to fall. And when they pulled apart, she laughed. Laughed like she was 17 and sneaking around behind her parents' backs. And that was it. That was the moment. Not the kiss. Not the betrayal. But the laugh. That laugh wasn't for him. It wasn't even about me. It was her enjoying the secret. When I left the building, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat in my car in total silence, fingers clenched around the steering wheel until my knuckles went white. I realized she'd been living 2 lives, and I'd only been invited to one of them. I didn't plan on telling anyone. Not yet. I thought maybe I'd wait until I had more proof, something undeniable. But it turns out I didn't have to. The universe did that part for me. It was 2:06 a.m. when my phone buzzed. I almost ignored it. The screen said Sierra, her younger sister. We weren't close. Honestly, I always got the feeling she didn't like me much. Said I was too quiet and kind of depressing. But when I answered, her voice didn't sound annoyed. It sounded like she was holding back an earthquake. "Kenton, are you awake?" she whispered. "Barely. What's going on?" She paused, then said, "Is Ray with you?" "She's asleep." That was a lie. Rihanna was in the other room pretending to be asleep ever since she came home hours late with a rushed excuse about a brainstorm dinner. Sierra sighed like she'd just confirmed something awful. "Okay, look, I'm sorry. I know it's not my place, but I saw something tonight, and I can't keep my mouth shut anymore." My chest tightened. "What did you see?" "She was at the Grange with Jareth." My whole body went numb. That was 20 miles away. Rihanna told me she was at a strategy dinner downtown. The Grange is a rustic bar, quiet, dark, off the radar. "She didn't see me," Sierra continued. "They were in a booth, holding hands. Like, intimately. Not friendly. Not platonic." I didn't say anything. I just sat there staring into the dark. "She's cheating on you," Sierra said. "And I'm sorry, but she's been lying for a while." Silence. Then she added something I'll never forget. "You deserve better than being made into some background character in her story." I didn't cry. Not then. I thanked her, hung up, and just sat on the edge of the bed, listening to Rihanna breathe in the next room. I realized something chilling in that moment. The people closest to her were starting to see it. The cracks. The ugliness beneath the perfect marriage facade. And when your own family starts turning against your lies, something's coming. Something big. She had no idea that her world was starting to collapse. And I wasn't going to stop it. She woke up late the next morning, yawning like it was any other Saturday. Like her world hadn't just started to burn behind her. She walked into the kitchen wearing one of my old t-shirts like nothing was wrong. But something was different, because this time, I was the one waiting. I had made coffee, just like always, but I didn't hand her a mug. I just watched. Silent. Calm. And that's when she noticed them. The flowers. A bouquet on the table. White roses with tiny purple irises. Beautiful. Expensive. Not something you'd pick up from a gas station. She looked at them, confused. "You didn't have to." I cut her off. "They're not for me." Her smile dropped so fast it was like someone pulled a string. She stepped closer and saw the card. I watched every flicker of emotion cross her face. Confusion, panic, rage. Because the card didn't have a name. Just a message. "Last night was everything. Can't stop thinking about your lips. JT." She stared at it like it had physically hurt her. "I don't know who sent that," she muttered, way too fast. "It's probably a joke. Someone's messing with us." "Us?" I asked. "You mean you?" She grabbed the card and shoved it into a drawer, like hiding it would somehow make it disappear from reality. I didn't push. I didn't yell. I just sipped my coffee and waited for her to implode. She started pacing. "You're not seriously thinking I'd..." "Kenton, come on. This is ridiculous. You're acting like some insecure." "Insecure?" I finally snapped. "You think I'm insecure because I don't like my wife sneaking off to secret bars with a guy who leaves notes about her lips?" She froze. That was the moment she realized I knew. Not guessed. Not suspected. Knew. I expected her to confess. To cry. To apologize. Instead, she did something worse. She lied. Again. Kenton, he's just a friend. You're being dramatic. We're adults. People flirt sometimes. It doesn't mean anything. That's when I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was over. She thought she was still in control of the narrative. But she didn't know what else I'd already done. The flowers weren't from Jareth. They were from me. And that card? I wrote it. Because I needed to see what she'd do when confronted with the lie. Whether she'd fold or fight. She chose fight, which meant I had to go all in. I didn't argue with her after the flower incident. I didn't yell or throw accusations. I let her believe the lie still worked. That I was still buying the just a friend narrative. That I was still weak, harmless, clueless. It made her sloppy. She started texting him again. This time more carefully, using a hidden folder app disguised as a calculator. But I'd already seen her install it once before when she thought I was in the garage. I watched her thumb in a 6-digit code with the kind of muscle memory that only comes from doing something often. That night, while she showered, I used her fingerprint and unlocked it. There it was. A vault of screenshots, photos, saved voice notes, and a few short videos. I didn't even need to look at them. I just recorded a screen capture of the entire vault and sent it to a secure folder on my laptop. Then I relocked it, closed the app, and placed her phone back where it was, exactly angled, exactly silent. Let her think I still didn't know. And while she was drying her hair in the bathroom, I was crafting the perfect setup. See, I knew she had a work retreat coming up. She'd mentioned it weeks ago, some all-day workshop at a hotel, strictly team bonding. Overnight stay required. She swore it was super corporate, nothing to worry about. That retreat was real. What she didn't know was, so was my reservation at the same hotel, just 2 floors up. I even asked my friend Brian, who works in AV systems, to help me set something up. I rented a suite and planted a small wireless camera disguised inside a wall charger. It had a perfect view of the hallway outside her assigned room. I wasn't trying to catch her in bed with him. I didn't want that image scorched into my brain. But I needed to know if he showed up, if she let him in, if what I feared had already crossed the final line. I waited in silence for hours. Just me, my laptop, and a live feed from the hallway. At 11:47 p.m., the elevator opened. Jareth stepped out, alone, carrying 2 wine glasses and a bottle. He walked straight to her room, knocked once, then twice. The door opened, and Rihanna pulled him inside without hesitation. No words. No glances over her shoulder. Just one fluid motion like she'd done it a dozen times before. I stared at the screen like I'd just witnessed my own funeral. The death of whatever trust one had left. And yet, I didn't feel rage. I felt ready. Because the next day, I would no longer be the man she thought she married. And she would finally see what it feels like to be left in the dark. She got home the next afternoon like nothing had happened. Hair still curled. Eyes a little tired. She was humming something under her breath as she unlocked the door. I was watching from the kitchen, sipping coffee like I hadn't seen the footage of her pulling another man into a hotel room just 16 hours earlier. She didn't notice anything at first. She dropped her purse on the counter, slipped off her heels, and headed toward the bedroom. Then she froze. She backed up 2 steps and looked again. The closet was empty, completely empty. My clothes, my shoes, my side of the dresser, all gone. She walked to the bathroom, no toothbrush, no razor, no cologne. Then she turned around and saw me standing in the hallway, holding a manila envelope. I didn't say anything, just handed it to her. Inside were 4 still images, a screenshot of her hidden app folder, the bouquet on the table with the card she pretended not to understand, a paused video frame of Jareth stepping into her hotel room, and the last one, a photo of her from the patio, laughing after kissing him, taken straight from the venue's security feed. Her hands started to shake. She looked up at me with her mouth half open, like she was about to give some Oscar-worthy excuse, but nothing came out. I finally spoke. This isn't a fight. I'm not here to scream. I'm not here to beg. I just wanted you to know that I know. Her voice cracked. Kenton, wait. It's not what it looks like. I almost laughed. Almost. Then you must have hired some amazing actors. She stepped toward me. I stepped back. No more gaslighting. No more fake stories. You had a choice, Ray, and you made it. I was lonely, she suddenly snapped, voice rising like a cornered animal. You stopped paying attention to me. You were just existing. That stung more than I expected, but it didn't change anything. I reached into my back pocket and pulled out a small envelope. My lawyer's card. I didn't even need to say the word. She saw it and her face crumpled. You're ending this? Just like that? No, you ended it. I'm just cleaning up the mess. I turned and walked out. I didn't look back, even when I heard her sobbing behind me. It wasn't satisfaction I felt. It was grief. But it was also the first honest emotion I'd felt in months. I wish I could say I felt triumphant walking away that day. Like some movie hero who blew everything up behind him and didn't flinch. But the truth is, it took weeks before the fog started to clear. Divorce isn't as simple as handing someone a lawyer's card and walking into the sunset. It's paperwork. It's property. It's people asking uncomfortable questions. But even in the middle of it all, something unexpected happened. I started to breathe again. Not all at once. Not some huge awakening. But little things. Like realizing I didn't flinch every time my phone buzzed. Or waking up and not feeling that ache in my stomach from wondering where she was. Or who she was with. I didn't post anything online. I didn't drag her through the mud publicly. I didn't send the footage to her boss, though God knows I wanted to. I just let the silence do its job. And then, a week before the divorce was finalized, she tried to crawl back. She showed up at my shop. Hair flat, eyes tired, no makeup, like she thought humility would fix what she shattered. She asked if we could talk. Said she was willing to do the work. Said what happened with Jareth was a mistake, and she'd ended it. I looked her in the eyes and asked one simple question. If I hadn't found out, would it still be going on? She couldn't answer, and that was my answer. So I told her gently but clearly, I hope you find whatever you're looking for, but it won't be with me. She left in tears. I didn't chase her. I didn't feel pity. I just felt free. Now, months later, I've rebuilt quietly. I moved to a smaller place, closer to nature. I started seeing a therapist. Even picked up an old hobby I'd forgotten, woodworking. I'm not dating yet. Not rushing. Just breathing. But last week, something strange happened. A woman walked into my shop with a broken coffee grinder. Said her name was Delaney. We talked. She laughed at one of my dumb jokes. I laughed too. It felt real. I don't know where that will go. Maybe nowhere. Maybe everywhere. But for the first time in a long time, I'm not stuck in the past. I'm standing in something better. The truth. And the truth? I didn't lose her. She lost me.